I do dig the aesthetics. Aside from it looking like a potato, the aesthetics are pretty cool. But, alright, we got a rare treat here today. The New Balance Fresh Foam MRSHN. So this is discontinued, I'm pretty sure. I've kind of been sitting on this package waiting for the right time to open it, just because it's kind of rare. It's just hard to come by. So when you come by it, it's like, oh cool, that's pretty sweet. I saw it on eBay, and most of the listings for this were like really expensive because it's a rare item anymore. So I came across a listing that was just for like $35, kind of retail or less than retail. And the size was an 11, so I went down, which I think was the right way to go, but regardless, there weren't any 12s. So I figured, well, this is my only opportunity to ever get a pair of these new that aren't like over $100. So these, I wasn't planning on buying. It was just kind of an impulse thing. I saw them listed, so I figured I'd snag them, because I don't know when the next opportunity will come by where I can acquire these. So that's the story with how they came to be in my possession. So on to the actual product at hand. The Fresh Foam MRSHN. So this is New Balance's Fresh Foam slide, and they always looked a little funky. I remember seeing them on, I think Hess Kicks had them like a year ago, and that was before I really started indulging in the slide world. So by the time that came to fruition, these were long gone. These were no longer available, and they were discontinued at that point. So the fact that I was able to find a pair, oh, these are used. Look at, there's a crease right there. He sold them as new, but whatever. They're rare. I'll wash them up before I wear them. No, he's still got the label on them. But yeah, that crease right there, that's from walking. And still got the tags on them. Maybe they just crease easily. So these are pretty funky looking. They kind of look like a potato, if you ask me. I don't know much about them beyond what I've already said. I've seen like a tri-color or like a rainbow color way online, but those are super expensive. So the only other ones I've really seen are black. So I don't really know much beyond that. The tread pattern's pretty cool. This is a very organic slide. That's one thing that really stands apart with this model, is how organic its form is. So we've kind of got like a little honeycomb thing going on the bottom, which is pretty cool looking. I like there's this little dip here that will probably help with the depression of the heel. There's our injection point. So it kind of blends with the form on the bottom. So we've got New Balance. Got the Fresh Foam. This sole is really cool looking, or this outsole is really cool looking. So I do appreciate the general form of this slide, with it being so different and very unique. Here's the MRSHN, Otherworldly Comfort. Fresh Foam, engineered for precision comfort. Fresh Foam provides an ultra cushioned and lightweight ride. So it feels pretty squishy. It feels a little firm though too. So I have a feeling that it's going to be kind of on the firmer side as far as the foam goes. Might have a little bit of a squish to it, but it feels a little hard. So I don't know how comfy they are gonna be, but they're pretty cool though, man. I do dig the aesthetics. Aside from it looking like a potato, the aesthetics are pretty cool. But I'm guessing they're kind of mid if they got discontinued. Usually when things are popping off, they don't discontinue them. But it looks like it's two different halves. I don't know how that process works, but we've got a seam right here. Two halves then sandwiched together for the whole, maybe? I don't know. I wonder if they use a different foam for the top than they do the bottom. It doesn't feel like it. It just feels like it's the fresh foam all around. So let's check out the ergos of the sole. It's kind of got a little arch support. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up though. There you go, you can see it a little bit. Kind of where it shines there. We got a little arch support, so the ergos look pretty good. So I think that's all we have to address in hand. We can throw them on foot and see how they do. So I don't know what to expect with these. I think they're going to be really comfy. Yeah, the sizing's good. Yeah, these are rather firm. So the form is a little different. That arch, here, let me get it focused. That arch is really forward. So you can see where my heel is placed, where my toes are. That's because of like how far forward that arch is. So I can scooch my foot back, but then it's not fitting my arch. So it wants to slide forward a little bit. I wonder if that's part of why these didn't really go too well. So that arch is very prominent, but it's very far forward on these. Makes my toes want to kind of hang off the edge. And then I've got all of this space in the back like that. That's kind of a, I don't know whose foot these were made for. Maybe they were made for alien feet. You never know. But these kind of, these are giving me the Lacoste, was it the Serve Slide 3 kind of comes to mind. I have them right here. So these, they're relatively squishy. They have like a halfway decent squish to them, but just their form is not very good. Just how far forward that arch is. Like it literally it wants to push my foot this far forward because of the arch. And then my toes are popping off. All right, so here's the Serve Slide. I bought these just to do a video on them basically because they were kind of rare. And my channel was really young at the time. It was one of my first videos. But this just has a really weird form to it also. And it has the arch is very far forward. And it's the same situation. It wants to push my foot forward. And these aren't even that big. But it wants to push my foot forward more than it needs to be. Which kind of brings them out to the edge. So these are surprisingly similar as far as that goes, of the misplaced arch, we'll call it. So I'm wondering if that was the nail in the coffin for these, was a misplaced arch. I just don't get it. Like how can you get that far in your design and come to that conclusion in terms of like the footbed, you know? Like it's really squishy right there, like where the arch is. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they'll break in. I'm just gonna collect these. Like I said, I'll keep the tags on them and throw them in a box, and then we might be able to resell these for a good amount in the future. But let's get an on-foot view of them. Let's see what else I have to say about them. What else comes to mind? But it is quite similar to these Lacoste slides. They kind of even look relative. The Lacoste have a much higher sidewall to them than these do, but just in terms of their funky fit. So, all right, let me get the down low footage on them. My spring mustache, it's starting to get warm out. I usually only wear facial hair or grow facial hair in the wintertime, so once it gets warm I shave. So we got the springtime stash going. All right, so like I mentioned, they look like potatoes. Rocking the fresh foam. They really aren't too uncomfortable. I mean, as far as the foam goes, it's kind of what I was anticipating it to be. It's got some decompression to it. It's got a little squish factor to it, but it's firm. It's a little firmer of a foam. It's not that gummy, rubbery foam. It's I don't know. It's kind of more of like your firmer Croc foam. Because, you know, Crocs has a couple models that are a little firmer. Like the Saru clogs come to mind. But these are even a little more gummy though too. But these are firmer. See, these have a fantastic ergonomic footbed to it though. It actually fits my foot. These almost fit my foot better than any clog I have, just in terms of like how it's designed. But they're a little firmer. So actually the Martians they compress a little more than the Sarus even. But I was just thinking in terms of like what they remind me of. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely it's its own entity. It's kind of its own foam. I mean, it was pretty similar to the Lacoste, but I don't really have anything else that comes to mind that actually like is relative to it. So anyways, it's kind of on the firmer side of things, but it does have a little squish to it, so it's not like hard, you know. So I don't think they look particularly good. They are starting to squish down a little more the more I'm standing in them. I think they're starting to take the shape of my foot a little bit, but you can only do so much with that. I mean, because you've got the underlying form that you got to deal with. So even though I'm standing in them and walking in them, it's not going to entirely allow me to imprint my foot into it. I'm always going to be dealing with that far forward arch support in it. So I don't know. I can see these being fantastic if it contours to the shape of your foot, you know. But since it really doesn't contour to the shape of my foot, I'm not loving these. Though they are a little squishy though. They're probably warming up being on my feet now too. So I notice a lot of foams get softer in heat. So like in warmer temps, and the longer I wear these, they will probably get a little softer, a little squishier. But yeah, I'm just not loving that footbed. Not loving those ergos. So it might work for you, but it is not working with my foot. So that's one of the reasons why I love these new Infinity slides so much, is how the ergos are on them. It's got a really nice like kind of elongated arch support to it that fits my foot perfectly. Whereas these do not. So I don't really know what else to say about them. The top strap isn't too bad. They're a little casual. They're not super sporty. There's a little bit of space in between the strap and my foot. So they're not super wide. I would say they're pretty standard as far as the width goes. I've got a little wiggle room side to side, but like where that strap is, that like through there, that is pretty narrow, or narrower, I should say, than like the toe box area. So I kind of feel that part wrap around my foot a little bit, holding it in place. And there's a bit of a dip down where the ball of your foot is and where your toes are versus the rest of the slide. So I do feel my heel raised up a little bit. It's like that arch support kind of goes like straight back to the heel. So where it's kind of risen a little bit there, it feels like it's kind of relative back to the heel. So you've kind of got a little bit of a plateau from the heel up to where that dips down. So there's a bit of an elevation difference. I know some people don't like having a raised heel on the slide. So these the heel is a little higher than the toes in terms of like the form, you know, the general form of the footbed. So yeah, man, I'm a little bummed about these. They would actually be really good if that arch was back a little further. They would fit my foot a little bit better because they're not too bad. Like I was saying, I feel I'm getting a little softer as they warm up being on my feet, but it's just I can't get over that arch, so that's unfortunate. But hey, at least we got them for the collection for now, and I will probably resell these in the future, maybe, or we'll just we'll sit on them. It might be a rare sell in the future, or I could get a good amount for them, but I don't know. That's not really important to me. So it's kind of cool just to have them in the collection, I guess you could say. So, all right, I think that's all I have to say about these. I'll stop pacing. But yeah, I'm bummed with how these fit, because I could see these being pretty good, just if they'd fit my foot a little bit better. So I'm sure there's people out there that absolutely love these. It's the only slide that fits their foot, because it does have a unique placement for where that arch is. So it's literally, if I put it perfect, like exactly where it needs to be, this is what I get. My toe is way off, and then I've got like 2 inches in the back. So fail, New Balance, fail. And I really haven't heard great things about the new slide that they have. There was a viewer that had commented about them, how they have like the little like hexagon in the heel, and it's apparently not very comfortable because they've got like fresh foam inserts into them or something like that. I'm not sure how that all works out, but so I don't know. Maybe I'll give those a shot in the future. I'm trying to branch out to other brands, so I'm running out of Crocs to review and do videos on. So I ordered a pair of Hoka slides. I got those coming. We'll do those next week. And I actually have a pair of Hoka shoes that I'm going to do momentarily. I'm excited about those, but all right, I digress. We won't spend any more time on these. I'll probably chop out a good portion of this footage to keep this video trimmed. So they're not bad, man. Like that fresh foam is nice and soft. It's just the footbed doesn't fit my foot. So that's too bad. That's too bad, because I really wanted to like these. So thanks for watching. This was an utter disappointment from New Balance, so I'm not surprised that these are discontinued. But hey, we got them. We tried them. So we got them for the collection, I guess, because I apparently have a collection now. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.